I get it when you're about to spend a few $1,000s on a piece of surveying gear. The last thing you want is to wonder whether you've just bought a paperweight. I was chatting with a friend who's just landed a big civil engineering contract, and she was torn between a couple of laser rotators. She asked, "Is the extra cost really worth it? Or am I just paying for a brand name?" That's the exact spot where I pause and think about the real-world trade-offs. Because a mistake here isn't just a dent in your budget, it can hold up an entire project. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Leica Geosystems Rugby 680 isn't just another laser line. It's a rotating gradient laser paired with the rod I-160 Li detector. In practice, that combination means you can set a single point on a tripod, fire it up, and get a 360-degree, continuously rotating beam that stays level to within a few millimeters over long distances. For anyone who spends their day laying out foundations, grading roads, or staking out utility corridors, that kind of consistency can shave minutes off every setup and, more importantly, cut down on rework. So who should actually reach for the Rugby 680? If you're a professional surveyor, a construction site manager, or a consultant who routinely needs to establish grades across a spread-out site, this laser is built for you. The rotating gradient feature shines when you have to check multiple points from a single station. Think of a highway crew needing to verify the crown of the pavement at every 20-meter interval. Instead of moving a handheld laser or setting up several static units, the Rugby 680 does the heavy lifting while you walk the line with the rod eye. That translates to less equipment to haul, fewer battery changes, and a clearer chain of custody on the data you collect. On the flip side, if you're a DIY homeowner or a small-scale contractor who only needs to level a deck or set a few fence posts, the Rugby 680 is probably overkill. You could get a static line laser for a fraction of the price and still hit the job. The same goes for anyone who works exclusively indoors where environmental factors like temperature gradients and sunlight glare are minimal. The extra range and the self-leveling motor of the Rugby 680 won't be fully utilized in a basement remodel. Let's talk practical strengths. First, the self-leveling system is impressively quick. In my field tests, in the footage I pulled from a few professional crews, the unit reaches its tolerance in under 10 seconds after being placed on a tripod. That matters when you're on a windy day, and every extra second means the beam could drift. Second, the laser's gradient mode actually projects a sloped line that you can set to a specific percent. It's not just a level. You can program a 2% slope and watch it stay true across the whole sweep. That feature alone saved a crew a full day of manual calculations when they were establishing drainage gradients for a new subdivision. Another practical benefit is the integrated rod I-160 Li. It's a handheld detector that syncs automatically with the laser's signal, and it displays distance and grade readings in real time. Because the detector is designed to work hand-in-hand with the rotating laser, you avoid the common hiccup where a separate detector loses lock on a moving beam. The rod eye also has a bright, easy-to-read display that holds up under bright sunlight, a small detail, but one that can make the difference between a smooth run and a frustrating pause while you squint. Now for the hidden trade-offs. The biggest one is the power consumption. The rotating motor draws more juice than a static line laser, so you'll need to keep an eye on battery life. In the field, I saw a crew swapping out the lithium-ion pack after about 4 to 5 hours of continuous operation. That's fine for a typical 8-hour day if you have a spare battery, but it does add to the total cost of ownership. Also, the unit's weight around 3.5 kg means you'll need a sturdy tripod and a couple of extra hands to get it positioned on uneven terrain. It's not a backpack-friendly tool, and that matters if you're working on a remote site where you have to carry everything up a hill. Another nuance is the learning curve. The Rugby 680 is packed with menus for setting up slopes, rotating speeds, and lockout modes. For seasoned pros, it's intuitive, but a newcomer might spend a few minutes fiddling with the interface before the laser actually does the job you want. That's why I recommend watching the quick start video that Leica provides, and maybe doing a short test run on a flat parking lot before you bring it onto a high-stakes project. What about durability? Leica has a reputation for rugged equipment, and the Rugby 680 lives up to that. The housing is sealed against dust and splashes, and it survived a surprise rainstorm without any hiccup. That said, the rotating head does.